Hi all, my name is Haley Comet and welcome to my cosmic corner of the internet where we discuss all things astrology and today all things Aquarius Descendant, Leo risings in love and partnership. We all know that with the sun as your ruler, Leo ascendants are here to shine. They're here to radiate out their creativity, their leadership, their own essence. But when it comes to partnerships, you are not looking for someone who is exactly the same as you. You are looking for somebody who will balance out your deficiencies, who will complement your strengths. And understand that within astrology, we go across the chart from the AC, which is your rising, to the DC, which is an angle called the descendant. This represents within your natal chart the qualities that you do not readily identify within yourselves, so you look for in others to balance out your own self. This sign represents the archetype of the ideal spouse, of the ideal business partner. But also, as we go through this video, we're also going to talk about the shadow side because it can also represent the negative attributes that we are typically drawn to as it relates to connecting with others. And by no means, as I continue on in this video, am I saying you need to run out and get a literal Aquarius. That oftentimes can be very supportive, but really we want to dive into the attributes of Aquarius as an archetype, as well as within this video, we'll dive into how you can find out within your chart your ideal other. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and take it into the light sides of the people that you are drawn to, embodied by the Aquarius archetype. So you, my love, as a Leo rising, you lead with heart. I always think of your ruler, the sun, is so generous. It can't help but to shine, to warm us all. And you very much have the same essence about the way that you approach others and the way that you approach life. You do things with heart or you do things not at all. Sometimes you can be a little bit dramatic with your displays. A lot of you tend to be very creative. You can be a natural leader, the sort of person that when you walk into the room, there's just an authoritative quality about you that just draws many eyes to you. These are all the attributes of you as a Leo rising. How it is that you see the world and how it is that the world sees you. I do have a deep dive video to explore that angle in more depth, but I want to focus on in this video what sort of person you are drawn to. So whereas you lead with heart, you are looking for someone who leads with logic, okay? Because as a Leo rising, there is this very passionate approach that you put into just about everything. Whether you direct it towards creativity, towards raising children, towards being a leader, you really put your heart into what it is that you do. Your ideal other will be somebody who leads with logic, somebody who's able to see the big picture of a situation. As I highlighted, sometimes a negative attribute of having a Leo ascendant is that you can have a tendency towards being quite dramatic. And sometimes when you're in that very passionate, emotional state, you don't always see things clearly. So you can find in love and in business, you are drawn to other people who are able to be a bit detached about the situation, to logically understand what is the next course of action. You are drawn to people who are very intelligent, people whose minds you almost just want to jump in and explore. Whether they direct this intellect, I mean, a lot of these individuals can literally be like geniuses, but it can be derived. Maybe they have this weird niche hobby that they put their brain power into. Maybe they're a very gifted engineer. Maybe they're very good at science. Maybe they use that energy towards humanitarian causes. The key factor of this is that you are drawn to people's minds, because it's not that you aren't intelligent, but oftentimes how it is that you approach life is just with this energy of warmth, sometimes drama, sometimes intensity. It's just how you are. It's just how you approach situations. So your ideal other is someone who's like, hang on, let's keep emotions out of it. What logically is our best course of action? As well as someone who can teach you about the world. A lot of times, the individuals embodied by this archetype within your chart, you can find you're drawn to people who are very intelligent, maybe in something that's a little strange or a little offbeat that you get to learn through, right? So you are drawn to individuals who really lead with brain power, who really are able to ground down into logically and realistically what is your best course of action. You are also drawn to individuals who march to the beat of their own drum. Aquarius is essentially the archetype of somebody who embraces their quirks. And you as well, you cannot help but shine out, your own unique essence. And you can find that you are magnetized towards individuals who do their own thing, people who are unconventional, perhaps people who are a little bit rebellious, who don't follow the rules if they don't make sense for their journey. You are drawn to individuals who are incredibly individualistic, who are incredibly unique. And you can find, as you think back your dating history, you can find that because of this, it doesn't always feel like you have a distinct type, because you are just drawn to people who are being true to themselves and people who are not rule followers. You know, they're trendsetters. They're individuals who do their own thing and they're not worried about fitting in. Since you are born to shine, you're this Leo rising, you know what it means to lead, and you're drawn to other individuals. Maybe the interests and the specifics are different of where you guys direct this energy, but there's a common thread around really wanting to be around individuals who are being true to themselves, who march to the beat of their own drum, whether they direct this in fashion, in music, in their career. These are individuals who will really look at the world and really strive to find their own unique pathway amidst it. And you may find throughout the people that you are drawn to is that the individuals that you are drawn to have a strong why. Aquarius is a sign of the humanitarian, and with that rebellious energy that we were talking about, that rule breaking, that trend setting, they really look to how it is that we can innovate this planet. They don't take things for face value. They don't say, well, this is how it always is and this is how it always needs to be. Typically, you are drawn to individuals who do feel called to innovate in some sort of way. Of course, the specific ways that they go about this can differ, but the thread is the same, that typically you are drawn to individuals who do want to leave some sort of impact, who do want to make this world a better place, who do want to be connected to a larger collective, a larger group of people in order to create change. And you can find, because you are somebody who is very passionate, you can find that sort of passion, that sort of mission is very attractive for you. Now, I want to highlight, we all have different nuances within our birth chart. So we'll want to understand what it is that you are drawn to, who it is that you should partner with in order to feel this power couple energy, right? So for that, we'll want to find your planetary descendant ruler. So what you'll want to do is I want you to look up your chart and I want you to find Saturn within your birth chart. It kind of looks like an H. And the reason that we look at Saturn is because in traditional astrology, Aquarius is ruled by Saturn. I am a traditionally trained astrologer. So if you want to take a modern approach, you would look at Uranus. Totally up to you. I'm going to continue talking through Saturn as that is the planet I work with and the ruler I work with for the sign Aquarius. So we'll want to find Saturn, and this represents essentially the nuances of this Aquarius-like person that you should partner with and marry, even potentially. So let's say you find Saturn within your birth chart and you see that you have Saturn in the sign Virgo within the second house. So you'll want to both understand these energies that we're chatting through in this video, this Aquarius energy of somebody who marches to be their own drum, somebody who is brilliant in their own right. And you'll want to merge that with Virgo-like themes and second house themes, as well as any aspects that Saturn is making. So Virgo is the sign of service, right? So we will know that perhaps this is somebody who uses their intellect in order to genuinely wanting to be of service. With it in the second house, they can be someone who's a hard worker, particularly when it comes to finances. Maybe they use their brilliance around money management, money organizing with the energy of Virgo. Let's get another example. Let's say we look at your Saturn within your birth chart and we see that it is placed in the sign Aries within the 9th house. So this is going to color, we have that same thread of Aquarius energy, right? This unique soul who feels connected to a bigger purpose. But let's add Aries theme. So Aries is very independent. So this is going to dial up that rebellious, rule-breaking energy of Aquarius quite a bit. There's somebody who's going to be very, very independent, do their own thing, very blunt as it relates to their truth. And then with the energy in 9th house, it could be somebody who really likes to travel. Maybe they're a professor and that's where they use their brilliant intellect. 9th house themes. So in some lines of thought within astrology, this can also represent how it is that you meet this individual. So for the first example, Saturn and Virgo in the second house, maybe you meet them because they were your banker, or you meet them at work. Versus Saturn in Aries in the 9th house, you could meet them while traveling, while doing something active. Aries, traveling, 9th house. So that will give you more nuance into some of the, and keep in mind, your chart is robust. There's many different needs that are told within the birth chart, but this will help to tune into the ideal other to have by your side as you navigate your world. Here's the thing, even this brilliant, inventive energy of Aquarius has a shadow side. So here are some essentially arenas to be mindful of as you date and as you partner with people. First being, that intellect that we talked about, yeah, that can be deeply frustrating. While it can be refreshing in that they're able to be logical, be very problem solving, it can be very frustrating because they are very detached. You can find you're drawn to people who have this layer of separation. You are somebody, you lead with heart, and it can be frustrating around how even when you're fighting with this person, they're able to stay cool, calm, and collected. Their emotions are something that they're able to compartmentalize, whereas that's a little foreign to you. That's typically not where your chart thrives. Of course, there's lots of nuances within a birth chart. But speaking generally, Leo rising leads with heart, and you're drawn to individuals who lead with their brain, which is great for your guys' shared life together, but it can be frustrating when you're like, are you a human? Are you alien? Are you here with me? Their level of detachment can be frustrating for you as you are somebody who is so passionate. You feel things intensely, you feel things strongly, and sometimes you can feel this coldness when it relates to your business partner or when it relates to your spouse, the people that you date, because they approach the world differently. This can be helpful, but in some cases, if it's not the right fit, you can find like, wow, how do I melt this person? They are like ice. And the next shadow side that you can run into as it relates to this energy is that these are individuals who are constantly in the future, as I highlighted. You live your life through this lens of joy and play. And you really want to enjoy the moment. You want to celebrate the moment. And you can be drawn to people who are constantly thinking about the future, how to set the two of you up for the future, which again, allows you in this power couple energy, allows you the space to relax into the present moment, but you can feel frustrated to allow your joy that you just naturally bring with you into situations feels squashed or feels tempered by your partners in their efforts around, are we setting ourselves up for the future? They're constantly contemplating, how do we get to where it is that we want to go? Or just even contemplating the future in terms of like science or technology or what have you. And at times that can squash your joy because you're really trying to play in the moment, and you could find that you're drawn to somebody, well, it could be hot, they're passionate about the world. They could be like, how are you just playing at the park when we have so much litter in the world? And you're like, hello, can I enjoy the moment? You can feel like they're a party pooper in that essence around constantly kind of yanking you out of the present moment. And this can be very helpful, especially if you run a business with this person, because again, we typically consider descendant through a lot of romantic tendencies, but also this is business partner. So if you go into business with somebody, this can be utilized very well in that they can be 3 steps ahead around, okay, what are the projections around where our business is going? Whereas you're able to shine within your Leo rising creativity. Right? Now, this can be powerful if the two of you meet a common ground, right? But sometimes you can find within partnerships that you feel that your love for life is sort of being dimmed by this individual that you are drawn to. And the last piece that I would highlight to be mindful of is that your person is going to be quite independent. And you are somebody where, to be a Leo is to love, right? Leo literally rules the heart space. So you guys turn love into a superpower, and you love people strong. You're very loyal, and you are drawn to people who are very loyal. But here's the thing. Aquarius energy needs their own world. They need their own weird niche interests over here, like you can find within past people you've dated. Like they could be always into something, whether it's like a sport or a video game. Like typically to Aquarius is to have some weird niche interests, and you can need to let your person have that world, right? They will not be accessible to you every hour of the day. They need their own friends. They need their own interests. And because Aquarius is a sign of friendship, they will find it very important to have social time, to spend time with their friends. And sometimes you could be like, hello, what about me? Like it could be frustrating, but the individuals that you are drawn to are individuals who need their own world. They do their own thing. It's not to say that they aren't loyal. It's not to say that they aren't loving, but they will need some space to kind of retreat into their office and research about some weird thing, or have a night a week to go play hockey with their buddies. Like, the energy of Aquarius really wants to feel connected to something bigger. A lot of them find this through friendships. Some find it through bonding with others over a niche interest, something of the nature, which can be frustrating for you if you're like, hello, I want a romantic date night and my partner wants to go play World of Warcraft with his buddies. What the heck? But it allows you the space to do your own thing as well. They're more independent, eclectic way of approaching things. So in essence, this is truly such a power couple, so long as you are able to appreciate one another's qualities. So long as you are drawn to individuals who really celebrate your joy, who want to build you up, who want to pour into you and validate you and be obsessed with you, because let's be real, Leo does like that a little bit. And so long as you're able to give them their own world, their own interests, their own desires, what it is that they are building within their future, this can be such a beautiful combination of both celebrating and expanding the joy within this moment, as well as planning for your future together, as well as like humanity's future. This I typically refer to as the axis of influence, Aquarius and Leo, because truly you both are destined to leave an impact. You with your passion in your heart and your leadership, and your partner with their inventive, brainy, eclectic, collective-oriented perspective. So my loves, I would love to hear, how has this rung true for you in terms of the people that you have done business with, the people that you have partnered with, the people that you have dated or even married? How have those individuals exemplified the light side of the Aquarius archetype? And how have they exemplified the shadow side of the Aquarius archetype? I would love to know. Comment below. My Instagram handle is @HaleyCometAstrology. My TikTok is the same. I would so love to connect with you over there. And until we meet again, drink lots of water and stay cosmic.